So here we've got the point of design thinking that not only I have looked at it from its point of empathy, which is the first area, but I've also combined it with the 4 marketing P's or marketing 4 P's. What is happening in this area is that the 5 principles of design thinking, which is discovery, define, ideation, prototyping, and testing. I've taken these and they are now woven into the marketing 4 P's. We are familiar with the marketing 4 P's. Am I correct? We are familiar. People, the product, the price, the place. There are extra P's, promotion, and so on and so on. So what I've done in this case is that when you are starting with your first principle, which is discovery, you will be doing discovery by focusing on the people, which is first. So here we talk about what do you need to discover about people. In this case, I'm saying you need to understand the job in which the people want to achieve with your product or with your service, which means you must have a full understanding. What is it that my client wants to achieve, but they can't achieve without the usage of my product or of my service? I'll give you an example. I want to go to town so that I can be early for my interview, but I don't want to take a taxi. So what is the verb that a person wants to do? He wants to go to town. He wants to go to town. Why? So that he can be early for his or her interview. So your product at this time, we can call it an Uber or whatever. Now we are saying you are providing a service that is going to help the customer to be on time because he wants to go to an interview. So this is why for us as designers, it is important to understand our customer, what they want to do. These assessments or interviews are done using a qualitative methodology, which means you have to pay attention to a number of things. You must pay attention to say, where are these people that I want to deal with? Where are my customer results? In which city? In which town? Urban, rural, township. Understand the psychographics, the demographics of them. Understand their behavior. Because these customers are the one that you want to develop your product for. So as part of discovery, in your notes, you must know their age. There are products, yes, that a person may say it's for all ages, but at least you must know what type of income that those persons must have in order for them to be able to buy your product. That's why it's very important to understand their education levels. Where do they work? Do they drive a car? What time of the day will this product be used? What design thinking encourages is that go and experience and have a live experience of your customer's life at a place where she or he resides. You will get a better understanding of who she is, what she says, what she sees, what she feels, what hurts her, what makes her happy, What makes it sad? That is the key ingredients of understanding your customer. Secondly, your customer may want to also to check the other 4 P's. Part of your discovery, make sure that you do not pass the issue of price. Find out about why the current product, or why are they not buying the current product? Or why are they buying the current product? What is the likes and dislike about it? It's very important, because when you are developing the features of your product, it must not be the same as the one that they are rejecting currently. So that's why you must know, are they happy with the current price or are they not? Are they happy with the current features or are they not? So those are the elements that when you go and do your understanding, your discovery, your empathy, you will understand that these customers, they are not happy with the price, which means when I'm developing my product, I need to make sure that I stay within a price range so that I can win them, because I've been with them, I've heard what they say, and I'm going to apply it. Also, investigate the current product that they are using, because it's not that today I'm not using any toothpaste. I'm currently using a toothpaste as we speak, either it's Colgate or Aquafresh or whatever. So when we are coming out with a Bongani Fresh toothpaste. So you need to know currently, what am I using? What do I like about it? What I don't like about it? What's the price? It's going to help you to understand how to position Bongani Fresh into the value chain. You're going to position it in terms of the scent, the freshness, how it looks, the packaging, the features of it, and so on and so on. That's why it is important for us, before we start our understanding of these 4 P's, is to understand what are the features, what are the price range, and so on. Very importantly, the place, the channel in which the product will be distributed to the customer. You need to see the vibe in a place. Who has been to small street people? You know the vibe at small street, ne? It's amazing. When you go there, the minute you enter those channels, those passages, you see the vibe of music. When you look at the clothes, you're already imagining yourself in a party. That music is not just a music for no usage. It hypes your sense so that it can provide happiness. You don't want a buyer, when it enters the shop, is already untouchable. You can't even greet him. There, it wants a buyer, when he enters the shop, is already in the mood. It's easy then to sell a product, to say, hey, how about this pair of jeans? Look at this. How about the jacket? Can you imagine yourself in that party, in that wedding? Because a place should provide a vibe so that it mirrors, it aligns with your target market. Unlike here in Sentin, we are very, very serious. We don't even ask the price when you enter the shop. We enter there, we know what we want, you know what I mean? We just enter the shop and give me that jacket, let me fit it. When you go there into the till, we just take out our card and you swipe, and then when they give us a slip, they say, keep the slip, man, and keep it. It's because of the environment, the place. That's why part of us designing the whole value chain, from the product to the pricing, to the customer, to the place, all of these things must be aligned. You should imagine where your product should sell. There are products that you don't find in certain retail shops. You only find them in their own unique stores because they want to maintain a particular look and feel that is not diluted by a retail environment. So part of you designing, empathizing with the place, you must be able to imagine what type of a place, the furniture inside the place, how the decor will look like. Do I like the classic or futuristic design? The furniture's inside, what type of furniture do I look? Most importantly, the salespeople as part of the place. You don't want people when they're about to sell a gin, a pair of gin, they come to you without no smile, without excitement. Salesperson are the key ingredient of part of the place that you must get people that are able to sell with a smile. There is no excuse. So that this is part of you designing the whole environment of how your product will be sold and how that will satisfy your customer. Are we together? So that's why for us, before we can begin to think of the design part, we must have at least a script that tells us about our customer, about the pricing that we will be competing with, about the product features that we need to have in our product, in our services, about the place that the product will be distributed. Will be in a township? Do you want a shop in a township? Do you want a shop in urban areas? Do you want to be in rural areas? Wherever you want to be. Most importantly as well with the place, logistic. The travel times between where you get your raw material and where the shop will be. Very important. You may think it's a shorter distance, but the frequency of the van going up and down to collect the raw material, it eats on your money. So that's why selecting the place, you are also multiplying or making input to a number of things, including how accessible the place to your customer. How will it be easy for them to notice the place whenever they pass by the car? Sometimes you ask why some shops like the corner shops. It's because it's visible from various corners. So it is easy for you to have access to that place, okay? So that's why, once again, your discovery, your understanding will help you to sit down with your team and say, okay, guys, we know who our customer is. It's Bongani, 35-year-old teacher who is staying in township. He's earning between 20 and 25,000 rand a month. He's a family man. He drives a Polo. He lives in a 5-room house, and so on and so on. Now, that is your ideal customer that you have identified. Then you're saying in this area, his activities include sports, hiking, whatever you name it. You must know your customer, who she is, so that you can know how to present yourself in front of your customer. Okay. So that is our understanding. Now we have done the discovery, now we know who they are. But then we go back and now interpret, define. Ubongani, a 35-year-old, what does it mean for my product? Is he a good customer? How? Who buys? I remember I went into a retail shop in one day and I recorded a video without noticing, you know, as entrepreneurs, we do some funny things. And I went into an aisle and I stand at the end of an aisle and I put my recording video here and I look at the couples come in. Let me tell you, I saw something that I did not know then. People in retailers, we men, we were trolley pushers. About 5 customers that came into my video were men pulling trolley. Some of them were even pushed like this. They are tired of walking. The people who were making decision of buying were women. They were making decision of how much quantity should we have. They were making a decision of what the smell of this soap should be. Those customers, for me, they showed me the power of research, of knowing who the customers are. Because a mother knows, I need a soap for my kids and a soap for our bathroom. So that's why I'm taking a pack of 4, not a pack of 1. Like myself, I would have gone in and just take a pack of 1. So it is very important to understand and define your customers. Define them to understand their buying behavior, their buying criteria. Those are key ingredients of defining and understanding your customer. Because most of the big brands, I can tell you now, you know those video aisles, those aisles that you find on videos, they may not just for decorations. They are monitoring our buying behavior. When do we buy? Which time of the month we buy? Which time of the day we buy? It's because they analyze us. So there is no excuse then for us to go into business and say, no. I'm not doing any research. I'm a waste of time. I'm just going straight. Please, before you invest your emotions, do your research thoroughly. Define your customer. Know what they want. Secondly, the interpretation, as I've said, goes within the product design. Define the price. What does it mean for your customer? Define the place. What does it mean for your customer? Because at the end of the day, what you want to achieve is that when you start the ideation process, now you are already now crafting the idea. You are about to put it into prototype. You must have got good content that gives you yes or no. Part of your history of recording your enterprise development, you must show why a particular decision was taken. It mustn't be, no, on that day I was so happy in the mood, I was playing Kwaito, and I said, no, damn, I'm going for this one. We must record our decision making. So on this day, I took a decision to go for the price that is below the current price of the bread of 20 Rand. My bread is going to be 19 Rand 50. I took that because I was informed by A, B, C, D. I was not informed by what I say. I liked the 1950. I just liked it. There is no liked here. It's a matter of facts that should drive us to make a particular decision. Okay. Once you've done ideation, you're then going to be doing ideation in all the stuff, your shop. And then now you are moved to validation, because we should be able to validate what we have done. Validate, get the graphic designers, the industrial designers to develop this thing, test it, the strength, pull it, push it, throw it on the ground, make sure that the elements that you had the customers complain about, they are covered in this current design. That's why the part of the prototyping is to do the validation, where you validate your design. Once you have done the validation in all the areas of the 4 Ps, please validate once more. They said, measure twice, cut once. Because if you don't re-evaluate and validate, you might lead yourself to where you've cut yourself short, because you did not do a better validation. So this approach allows us to go and then do the testing. In this testing, one may call it's a soft launch, where you soft launch your product. Now again, there comes the launching part, which is very, very important. Your soft launch is an event that is going to give you a decision-making interval of yes or no. Because the soft launch is going to hear people either saying in a corner, they wouldn't tell you in front of you. They'll say, I thought it was this, but anyway, let me keep quiet. The soft launch, again, when you invite the people into the soft launch, that Bongani, a 35-year-old, a teacher, earning between 20 and 35,000, driving a Polo, a family man, should be part of the invitation that is invited in the soft launch. Because that is your key customer who is going to spread the word on Twitter about your company, that, hey, I've been to this launch, and they do the selfies and so on and so on. So that's why the part and parcel of us doing this design thinking approach is to help us to make decisions, help us to drive where the company should go. The selection of the place as well when you are doing the launch, very important. It must meet the expectations of your customers, either in the township or either in an urban area. There are so many things that happens in that launch. The mood of the launch, the environment, the setup, the presenters, all must present a particular lifestyle of a new brand, of a new service, of a new product that is launched to the market. That is why part and parcel of the launch, how the invitation is sent, how people are reminded. Also think about, because on that day, you must give yourself a target to say, how many people or how many products I expect to sell to the customers who will be on the launch. Part of your preparation is that you know Bongani always carries a credit card or a debit card with him or her, which means you need to have payment system in place for those who want to pay with a credit card and for those who want to do debits or whatever you name it. So part of your launch, prepare yourself in terms of how people will buy the product. Will be cash, it will be geo payment or show payment or whatever you name it. This is part of your preparation. What does it help you with? At the end of the day, you must know, as I've said earlier, that you want this soft launch to give you an indication of the things to come. That's why whatever you present, when after the end of the day, if 40% of your product is sold on that day, go and celebrate. Because at least you know that 40% of this audience have already bought or did buy 40% of the stock. At least we have achieved a target. So that's why the 40% rule is it helping you to make a decision on saying, yes, there is a chance for me for this product to go wild, like wildfires from Western Cape, for example. God forbid, let me nobody died when those wildfires are there. So, but for these wildfires are for our product or services, because we know we have positioned the product into the minds and moods of our customers. We know our communication messages our value proposition, we know what it says, and therefore we know that the product that we have done is going to help our customers to achieve the result. So I think you have learned one thing or two about this area. So as I've said, before you start, remember my Zulu story earlier. Before you invest your emotions, please get at least few learners to go and do the research on your behalf, or even yourself and go and do the research. And I hope we have learned something. If you have any questions, any clarity, you can, raise your voice and say, this was my question. But thank you for being such a wonderful audience, and I hope that you have learned something today about design thinking, married with 4 marketing P's, which are people, product, price, place. So what you do with those things, you do your discovery. Whatever you do, discover anything about the people, to product, to place, to price. You must know and understand. If you don't know anything about that, don't carry on. Go back and discover, understand, empathize. Once you've done the discovery, define, interpret the people, the product, the place, the price. What does it mean to that? Once you've done the defining and interpretation, then ideate the ideal customer, the ideal place, the ideal price. Once you've done the ideation, then it's easy for you then to say prototype in terms of visual material. You can design a shop to say this shop will be like this, it will have windows or this and this and that. Once you've done prototyping, all of this, you prepare for a launch where you invite us to come and buy your product. The launch is not for us to have freebies, no freebies in launches, okay? No freebies. You come with the money. This business, maybe we should start introducing business shower. Again, there is a baby shower. So when you come to the business, it's a business shower. Bring in a chair. Bring in a free Wi-Fi. So that the business, because it's a new baby, it needs, to be fed before it can walk. So which means, as business people, as we sit here, we must encourage each other to go for a business shower event where we throw in money to invest in you. So imagine we have 100 rand investment in the business. What will happen in that business? It will, because now you have got at least the base for you to start. There is an investment. So we will be happy. So we don't do the showers only when there is a baby. Let's do it when there is a business born, the new business that's been born. Let's celebrate having a shower party. Throw in some few Mandelas there so that the business could thrive. Okay. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.